a lot of people I think from America who come to Toronto, from my experience, always have a very positive thing to say about their time here. I think that's just been I don't know about you. I think that's been my reality. Like, everyone has something to love about it here.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know anything about Toronto moving here, just coming here?
I mean, we might move here. I don't know.
Wow, you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
But no, I didn't know too much about it other than Drake, Jessie Reyes, Justin Bieber.
Like, what's
that was it.
I always wonder, as an American, what's your perspective?
So
Canada, Toronto.
I feel like I
didn't
didn't
bullied
really.
a lot.
For real?
You got bullied a lot. Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really think about it too much until I think a week before the trip. One of my friends, her man is from New York, right? And so he was like, y'all better layer up in there, get them thermals because it's cold as shit. You might get caught up in a snowstorm or something.
You might.
Right? And so like, I was like, oh shit, maybe I should like prepare, you know? And then when I came out here,
this has been our mildest winter in years.
I was like, oh, this is like weather back home when it's winter for us. But then we were shooting some scenes at night and it was mad cold and I was not prepared and my ass cheeks was cramping up because of how cold it was. But
for real, it's like a funny thing over here is club nights don't end in the winter, but then there's all the baddies and their tiny little skirts and tiny little heels, and it's like we're still gonna go hard even in the snow.
Hoes don't get cold
for real. Real.
You came out here also to work on a collab project, right?
Yeah, and that's why I think it's such a beautiful thing that like even though something like as tragic as that happened, something beautiful came out of it.
Fully.
But yeah. It wasn't, I want to say it was a few months ago. I was still working on my album and I had gotten a message from Rich, from OVO Rich. And he was like, he wants to work. He was like, send a couple records. And at that time I had this record called Go Together that was just unfinished. It needed a verse. And I was like, okay, let's try this one. And he loved it. And he cut it right away. And I was really surprised.
What does that mean?
Like he recorded it right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I was really surprised because for me, at least where I'm from and stuff, it's really hard getting features from anybody, you know.
The gatekeep kind of thing or
what?
Okay.
Yeah, or they'll like charge out the ass,
right.
You know, like they'll just do the most and they won't even promote it, you know. So it was really interesting to see like him being very responsive and recording it right away and just getting it done, you know? And yeah, so I was like, we got to shoot a video to this. And I've never been to Canada. And then it came to my mind, this shit is fucking crazy because Nino and Callie, like they're from here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this could be dope. Mm-hmm. And they even told me, they were like, yo, if you ever come out to Canada, like let's work, let's shoot, you know, because they love the music. And so for me, it just kind of made sense. I was like, let's plan a trip, you know, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
You got in contact with the real one because he's done a lot of video shoots for like Toronto artists.
I heard, yeah.
And he's done our photo shoot that we did. It turned out great. Like, couldn't be happier with it.
For the cover art of this podcast.
Yeah.
So have you heard about the Toronto flow at all? Like that Toronto smiley or that Drake kind of flow?
So,
what's your thoughts on the flow? Toronto rap. Yeah. What do you know about Toronto rap? Who do you know?
So he was like putting me on yesterday to Chromaz.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. Smiley.
Yeah. What do you think about Smiley?
To be honest, I'm not sure if he played Smiley.
Yeah, okay.
But he spoke a lot about Smiley.
So you don't know, very popular Toronto artist, but you don't know too much, or like what's the spread of Toronto flow and Toronto rap into this?
We don't know nothing.
Damn.
A lot of our city is like a lot of like top 40.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like what you hear in New York or what you hear in Atlanta for the most part, you know.
Interesting. But, you'll have to look into that and see what you think.
Yeah, and I was telling him too, I was like, I want to know like what it sounds like out here.
Toronto has a very distinct sound.
Yeah. It really, really does. But the accent is so beautiful.
We're going to try and pop out tonight.
Beautiful.
She'll hear some of it later.
Yeah.
We have a segment that we wanted to do where we want to basically ask you about some of your lyrics. We want you to go through them for us.
That's fun.
Something you said on a podcast I was watching that you were on. You had said, step into the club going through it.
Oh,
Girl,
that's real.
when you're in the club, like what is the most going through it you've ever been in a club? Tell us the story of your most going through it in a club.
Is that about a specific
Yeah.
club experience that
Step
you had?
into the club going through it.
I don't think it was like ever one like moment per se. I think it was just like a whole era. What I called at that time was my demon era. So I don't know. I was just single, but I was confused. I was confused because I wanted to be in love. But like a lot of guys were very intimidated by me. Very fucking intimidated by me and be like, no, like you deserve to be with somebody better, you know, as their shit together. And I never understood
shut the
it.
fuck up.
It's like, why even entertain me a little bit just for you to say some shit like that, you know?
Some puppy dog stuff.
Yeah. So I think it was just like a whole era where I was just like, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot and I was surrounded by a lot of people that fucked with me, but didn't really know me like that. You know, like these are people that would pop out with me all the time, but don't check up on me on a regular.
So what's your advice for the girls who are stepping into the club going through it?
Go the fuck home. Shawty, you're not going to find your answers there.
Okay, fair enough.
We have another lyric here. I had everything you ever wanted. I was never what you needed. So, want to tell us what this one's about?
This one is definitely about my ex. A lot of my most recent songs, the past couple of years, are like about one person in particular.
And it's funny because your experiences will guide you to write and to sing and make music about your experiences.
Yeah.
But this is a statement that's like very relatable to every female out there. Like we always have a tendency to look for what we want, not what we need. So I think that's kind of why we're inspired. So yeah, tell us more.
Yeah.
But
I feel like a lot of guys don't really know what's good for them. You know, they could have a really good woman right in front of them, but they will sleep the entire time. You know, I'll have everything you want. So anything very like short term, very like in the moment, like you know, I'm the type of person that I will go out my way, you know, to make sure you're straight. But at that moment, you don't know that I'm what you need. Like you run from it almost. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm fighting for the little girl inside me, so I can't lose. A lot of people let her down. I'll be the one to fill the shoes.
Facts. Oh my goodness. I be spitting bars.
For real.
No, man. Just like in living life and going through what I went through, I realized, and I went to therapy, but I realized a lot about myself that I always had this like, I need a man or somebody to make me feel whole. Mm-hmm. And I never really did. And I've always felt like, oh, I could put my trust in you and you'll fix me. You'll figure me out. You know, you'll figure out my maze. And now, or at least in that moment when I wrote that, it was more on some, fuck that. Like, I got to do what's best for me. So even if that means like I got to block out certain people or certain energy or become an avoidant, like that's what I'm going to do because I'm fighting for the little girl that's inside me that's like crying out for help. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not on that time anymore where I'm just going to let anybody just take advantage of me.
Yeah, for sure. That one's also, I feel like, I think maybe now I'm thinking about it, the lyrics we picked are very like, oh, I relate to that. Like just being that little girl who, the explanation behind it hits a lot harder than the actual lyric in this moment for me because that's so real. I feel like we talk about that a lot where I dealt with like extreme male validation or I didn't feel valued unless a man attached that label to me.
It's like a canon event as a woman realizing you need to decenter men. You can let
the cost of that is the intimidation that men feel when they're around you.
Oh my
God. But it weeds out men who can't handle you.
Absolutely.
Like,
for sure. And I'm grateful that at least like they told me that and didn't keep dragging me along.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know that you're a bum now before I actually give you the time of day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you had one more lyric that talks about homie hopping. Is that about a specific experience?
Yes.
Talking all that shit like if nobody's listening.
Yeah, that's actually about a specific experience. So
who homie hopped?
So it's not like homie hop in the way that you would expect because she's gay. But
got it.
But in the sense where like this was somebody that I considered my friend, right? From the very beginning, like of my music career type shit. And it's really interesting because before I got into this relationship with this person, she was like, oh, he's not good for you. Like, she knew from the jump. She was like, I don't think you should be talking to him. But my dumb ass didn't listen, right? She stopped being friends with me over that. Mad dramatic. And after I went through what I went through, he was on social media just like talking mad shit about me. And she became friends with him. And she, like, I think even went on the road with him to do some, like, video stuff for him, just, like, little, like, promotion or whatever. And I'm just like, bitch, what? Like, you was the main one talking mad shit. And then after you hear about what he did to me, you're just gonna fucking homie hop?
Yeah.
Just because, like, he's also a singer. So it's just because he's making noise.
People cling on to whatever they
That's
can,
what
right?
I'm saying.
Do anything for clout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that shit was just crazy. And then after that, she tried reaching out to me like, bro, like, I'm sorry about what happened to you. Like, trying to apologize for even, like, chilling with dude or whatever. Like, he told me this, and that. It's just like, bro, at this point, like, you got it. Like,
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for breaking those down.
Yeah.
You just wanted the tea behind them.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take a quick break and have a drink?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
We had to take a break for that, basically. We had to take a quick break.
Go 1-2 shot.
Getting back into it, I wanted to ask you, we want to move into your personal philosophy.
Okay.
I feel like as a woman, that's important. I know you talked about watching Made and it being a pivotal kind of breakthrough moment for you of like understanding or recognizing of some of the shit that you were going
Where
through.
did you find that out?
Don't watch that.
We did our research.
That's crazy.
I brought this up because I watched Made. I'm so blessed as a girl to say that I've never been in like a domestic situation with a guy. I've never had a relationship that took me down that path.
Yeah.
But I do remember watching it in the height of my degree. I went to school for criminology and law. So I learned a little bit about like what it's like for women going through situations like that. And so when I watched the show, it was pivotal. I'm pretty sure I wrote a paper about it. And so
I'm kind of the opposite of her. Like, I haven't watched Made, but I was in an abusive relationship with a partner who was extremely physically abusive. I lived with him for about 3 years, so I can relate to that part of it. But I'm lost on the plot of Made as far as what Made is.
It's really basically about this girl who's like down bad on her luck and like is in a shitty
I'll
relationship.
have to watch it.
She has a daughter, which is kind of like the drive that keeps a lot of women going in a situation like
With
that.
her abuser? Is her daughter with her abuser?
With and then
his
without
daughter.
and then
Oh.
yeah.
And then, because I just found it really interesting listening to you say that watching the show Made is what made you realize the situation that you were in. Because I think, I know that for me being in an abusive relationship, there was a very specific, I think everybody in an abusive relationship, especially a physically abusive one, you're so brainwashed and you develop Stockholm syndrome where you're just
100%.
so in love with your abuser. And we all kind of have that canon experience where we realize,
At
oh
some
wait,
point.
wait, I'm actually in a really terrible situation right now. So I thought it was really interesting that you said that this show was your realization. So yeah, we wanted to hear about that.
Just in like how it shaped you or what was the click moment for you?
So, honestly, it was really interesting how I even came about the show. So I was in Fort Worth. His mom came over. And a mother will always know their son.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
And she just casually mentioned this show on Netflix called Made. And she recommended that I watch it.
Wait, that is so crazy because you know what my ex's mom recommended I watch was It Ends With Us.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and I read that book too. So girl, yes, I feel you.
That's so crazy. My
Yes.
ex's mom did the same thing.
Because they know. They know.
she knew.
But it's just like, it's at a point where like they just can't control their son.
Yeah, no, they can't.
So
It's
like
beyond
they
that
try
point.
to help in like little ways that they can, because them talking to like us about it could put us in even more danger,
Yeah.
you know? So those little subtle hints, and I didn't know what Made was about at all. So when I started watching it, and I watched it around him too, and he was like, oh, why are you watching that stupid shit? Like he hated it. He hated it so bad. But when I was watching it, like it was almost as if I was looking at myself. And for me, before that, I've always believed in like, oh, I believe in this relationship. I believe in what we could be, the potential, right?
Always.
And then at the same time, like you believe the things that they tell you, like love is supposed to be this, and they hit you with the I'm sorry every now and then, and you
The
believe in that
gifts.
so much.
Yeah.
So when I'm seeing something similar that's going on a TV show, I'm just like,
Damn.
that's me, you know?
Well, so is she in a physically abusive relationship in this show?
So
Yeah,
Is it-
super.
For
Yeah.
her, like it turned physical, and
for
she
her,
had the balls to leave.
Yeah.
You know? And that takes a lot because she had a daughter.
Yeah, but sometimes the balls are the final straw of like, look, if
Yeah.
I stay, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I feel like that's what
Honestly,
it was for her. Or the fact that
100%.
she had a kid in that situation, she was just like, I need to get out, even if it's
Yeah.
worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I remember this one moment when I was out in Texas. We had got into an argument, and I like literally tried to escape, and I got into an Uber, and he literally chased down this Uber and tailing the motherfucker. And the Uber driver was telling me like,
Just got chills.
yeah, like the Uber driver was telling me like, yo, like, do you know who that person is? Because they look like they're trying to run us over. Like, and so I was like, just let me get out, because I'm not trying to like put anybody else in harm. And so I get out and I get in the car with him, and he was just like screaming and like grabbing on my arm, and I had like this big ass bruise on my arm from how he was just like gripping on it and stuff. And after that, I met up with his grandmother, right? And we had went to church or something. She had some event to go to, and I remember seeing like a little girl, and there was like a little girl just like sitting in front of me, and she was just smiling at me and just being like just a kid. And the thought that went through my head was, what if that was my daughter?
Oh, wow.
Me having to like be brave, you know, and pretend like everything is okay for my child, you know. And for me, that was like one of those moments where like I don't ever like want to put my child through that. You know, like if we ever did have a kid, I don't ever want to like have to pretend like everything is okay, because at the end of the day, kids absorb a lot of shit.
Yeah.
A
Oh my
lot
God.
of shit.
Yeah.
Whether they understand it or they don't, they absorb it. And I don't ever want to like put my kid through that.
Yeah, no.
So that was definitely like one of the final straws. It wasn't even like the final straw for me, but that was one of.
I love when people talk
Yeah.
about if you can't do it for yourself, do it for a 5-year-old you.
And that's,
you know,
it's beautiful, but it's a little sad too, because I should be able to do it for myself, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's the devastating part about being a woman. And that's
Yeah.
like the sad reality that, you know, girls can be bad, we can be moody, we can be bratty, but at the end of the day, like we deal with a lot of shit
100%.
that shows up in the way
100%.
that we interact in relationships, whether it be like family or dating. And I feel like we get blamed for that a lot of the times.
That's true.
But
That's
we're
true.
coming from a place of defense in most situations.
Yeah.
You as a girl, when you're dating a guy, you're constantly choosing to give yourself to someone who has more strength than you,
Yeah.
more like capacity to control and have power over you. So the way that like we react in those situations, I feel like, yeah, we get called a bitch a lot of the times before we're recognized for like just the survival mode that we're in.
100%.
You know?
100%.
Maid is an incredible show, you guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, it's pivotal.
Oh, it's so interesting that you say that, because that was one of the things that I would say too, and I say to anybody else in an abusive situation or just a relationship that you shouldn't be in. It doesn't have to be physically abusive to be the wrong relationship. Somebody could just
100%.
not be the person that's going to treat you the best. And I used to tell myself, I'm like, well, okay, if my little sister, or my little cousin, or anybody was in this relationship, would I tell them to stay in it?
Yeah.
Or would I tell,
That's
you know what?
facts.
No, he might change. Give it a little bit long. No,
Yeah,
he
no.
might kill you also. Like
Yeah.
one of those times when he's holding you down by your neck, you might actually die. You know,
Yeah,
it's just,
that's
it's
real.
And you know
It's-
what's crazy is in school, I remember we learned a statistic where the minute a man puts his hands around your neck, he's 70% more likely to kill you.
100%.
And that's a real
100%.
statistic that's
a real
backed up by
thing.
real
Yep.
data, by real victims, by real reported crime. The
Yeah.
minute his hands go around your neck, you're 70% more likely to die in his hands.
100%.
And
is
I
crazy.
think that's a very common, like when men are abusive, that's one of their first go-tos is strangling you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
statistic is a crazy one to know.
That's
like
real.
looking back at those situations.
Yeah.
So you really are a survivor when you come out of
Yeah.
Yeah.
domestic abusive relationship.
So we want to know who you are now. We know you changed your name, and that was what we like to call, we go through it every month, a rebrand. How important is a rebrand to you, and what is a rebrand for you? Like, what has your rebrand since the name change? But then even going further than that, have you been through multiple different rebrands of refining yourself, etc.? Kind of who are you now since that show shaped your being, not in the music world, but just in your personal world?
Yeah. That definitely did, like, after what I went through, it was like a huge rebrand, and it wasn't even on purpose.
Yeah, it's forced sometimes, but in a good way.
Yeah, and sometimes it's necessary for it to be that way, you know? And I'm super grateful for it because I definitely feel myself no longer really battling with like what the world expects from me.
Even
And I'm
that men's validation you talked about too, right?
Yeah, and so I'm just like just doing me and just like speaking what it is that I want to talk about on my records, you know? But it's the beginning of it just felt very effortless, to be honest. What I did
When you leave a
find-
toxic man, it is effortless, no?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that rebrand is effortless. It gives you space to just
once
be you.
once you let go of like that negative energy, all your blessings will come naturally. And that's not to say that when you receive the blessings, like you won't get any kind of like negativity, because you will.
Yeah.
Those attacks will come 10 times more stronger. But it's just something about being in that space where like you're embracing like what it is that like makes you you.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it so easy to just keep going down that path, you know. And I had the right support around me. Like, you know, my mom was like super supportive about the whole situation, you know, and even my fans, you know, my fans too. And I think that was beautiful.
Does anyone have like a parasocial relationship with you?
What do you mean?
Parasocial relationship is you have your favorite creators and you might watch them for years and years and years, and you start to feel like you know that person because you've watched them, right?
Honestly.
But they have no idea that you exist. So you as the creator, you as the creator, you have no idea that that person exists. But that person watching you is like, they feel like they know you because they see your content, etc. So do you feel like anyone has like a parasocial relationship with you?
Absolutely.
Do you have fans like that who are in your inbox like, girl, that color doesn't look great on you? Like, you know what I mean? Like taking that next step as like a...
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure I do. But I know there's like, it got to a point for me where like, it felt a little too overwhelming. Like
to interact?
Like the amount of people that would like relate so hard.
Yeah, you're like, shut
You
the
know?
fuck up.
And like the way that they would talk to me as if like I could save them in a sense, because they would connect so much with like what I went through, and it was like they would mirror that in a sense.
So that's overwhelming in a
Yeah.
sense? Like you weren't prepared for that?
I wasn't prepared at all, because it's like, I want to say in essence I have advice, but I don't have the answers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that. I have advice, but I don't have the answers.
That's very
Yeah.
real, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
But yeah, I was going to say, put that in the song, for real. That's so
Somebody
real.
write that down.
Yeah, your brand is very clear now. We talked a little bit about how you're representing, like, how you represent the Hispanic community being in America, and I think maybe that might be an outside perspective, but it is something you do. And then also, when it comes to women who have been in like similar positions to you, does that show up in your music as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it started getting like a little bit difficult, because I feel like people connected to that so much that when they started seeing me happy,
It was hard.
they had trouble connecting.
It is, yeah, because I mean, and from a fan's perspective, you look at certain artists that are coming out with albums, like for example, you know, Mariah the Scientist, she's kind of switched her whole thing up with going from making music about going through a breakup to making music about just being happy
Yeah.
and being in a good place. And as the consumer, you kind of put these artists that you look up to in a box,
Yeah.
when you have to remember that there are people too going through different phases of life. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. I even had like this one fan when I was going viral on TikTok, and she had seen me like at my lowest, and a lot of the content that I was pushing out at that time was speaking on my experiences, and so she like related a lot. But then little by little, like, or like 2 years later, I started dating somebody new, or like talking to somebody new, and I changed. you know, I started being a lot more in my healing era. Like I went to therapy. I started talking to somebody new, and I was a lot more happier. And she would literally comment on my lives, like telling me that she's jealous of me because
Really?
I'm happy, because I'm in a relationship and I'm with somebody that loves me.
Wow.
And it's like, I haven't seen her since.
I don't even have hate for those girls sometimes. I literally just have like, I really hope you find what you need
Pity.
in life.
Honestly,
yeah, pity.
yeah.
Which is almost sadder than hating somebody,
It
you
is.
know?
It is.
Because it's like, it's easy to be like, wow, what a bitch. But at the end of the day, it's like, girl, what are you going through that like you
Yeah.
feel the need to displace it and outtake it on somebody like you know? Like
Yeah.
that's just wild to me. But
Yeah.
I hope all girls who deal with that heal and
Yeah.
never leave that mark on like other people who are happy. Don't shit on somebody's fucking
Yeah.
happiness, you know? Like,
Yeah, and for like a little bit, it was a little discouraging because like the way people receive like my more sad records, like it's like almost as if they love that more
then like
than when like I make happier records. It doesn't translate the same.
sometimes I feel like that's because it's easier to relate to music when you're depressed. Like everyone has their depression playlist.
Yeah.
You know, like your breakup playlist or your sad, like no one has I just got hired playlist.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
but
that's
everyone
true.
has that like depressive playlist. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's because people can't relate to you when you feel upset. You feel like it's you versus the
Yeah.
world. So that must be difficult as an artist, is actually navigating the fact that a lot of people find you when they're at their worst.
Right.
Which is actually
Absolutely.
crazy to think about. I didn't really
Yeah.
consider that, but that's probably true. A lot of people find artists when they're in a place of like needing somebody to confide in or like vent in lyrically, you know, of like, wow, this shit is really slapping right now.
Yeah.
But not necessarily for the right reasons spiritually, you know?
Absolutely.
It puts a big burden on you to kind of, because then people look up to you like the Messiah in a sense, right?
Basically, yeah.
We did want to ask you about something that we saw on TikTok that went viral. I think, was it last year?
Yeah, so there was a big blow up in like the Latina community last year when like Latina fishing became a really popular thing in the media.
Which I'm not surprised if you don't know about it. It was just there's this picture that exists online, right?
This of a like this girl,
A beautiful girl.
yeah.
Beautiful makeup and what everyone would call Latina makeup.
Okay,
So when
I've
you think
heard
of
about
Latina
that.
makeup, it's like
Yeah.
your makeup right now.
Yeah,
It's like
honestly.
it's like a
Are you
it's-
dead ass?
I'm dead ass. It's like a light cream waterline, and then it's like a matte lid, like all matte shadows, and a nice thick liner,
Very mild blush.
and then a dark lip,
Yeah.
and just a soft.
Okay, like chola makeup.
Okay, yeah,
That's crazy.
So we saw this thing went viral where this girl was posting, and she was the face of Latina makeup. The face of
okay.
it. So if you were to go on TikTok and search like Latina makeup tutorial,
she's
Right.
She's the
I
face of
remember
it.
that was like going on, but I didn't know where it started.
God only knows. But she was the face of that.
Yeah, this one girl, and everybody really believed that she was Latina because even the name, her first and last name, were both like Hispanic. So people really believe that she was what she was portraying as.
so funny.
And then it came out that she was just using a fake name. She's actually just some
White
white
girl.
girl who's been dyeing her hair dark and
Latina
this whole
fishing.
time, yeah, she just
Oh
became
my
the
goodness.
face of like the Latina makeup community when she's
not even
literally
Latina.
has no Latina heritage at
That's
all.
crazy.
So we just wanted to know what the experience has been like for you in terms of Latina fishing, just on a girls' conversation. Like, do you see Latina makeup or artistry or aestheticism hitting the mainstream, and do you see a lot of girls like emulating that in a way that like pisses you off to some degree, or you're kind of cool with it? Like, have you ever had an experience where your style in that sense, or that style generally speaking, have you had a crazy story with that, or nothing too much?
To be
Or
honest,
does it upset you when you see that, or you're just like,
Or is it flattering? Yeah.
I
Or is
mean,
it like
to be honest, I've never really seen or experienced that
Nothing,
like
eh?
in real life.
I feel like it's more of a media thing that we do see. Like, I think it happens on social media a lot more than it does in real life. Like, no white Canadian girl with blonde hair is gonna come up to you and be like, I did my Latina makeup today. Like, did I eat? But I just think it's something to consider, because I feel like it was very controversial on TikTok when it happened. So we were just like, let's just ask her about it. Like, did you ever hear of anything?
Yeah, no,
in the news
I
about
don't
that?
remember hearing about that being. I just remember hearing like Latina makeup, But I've never heard that like somebody was out here pretending to be Latina. I've never heard that.
So do you have any opinion on the biting of like Latina style or Latina women?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Is it a form of flattery, or is it something that kind of upsets you to some degree, or anything at all, or not really?
I feel like it does upset me when like people pretend, like if I were to know about it, like if people were to pretend to be Latina and they're not, that does kind of upset me. But I feel like that would upset me with anybody like just being fake, like pretending to be something that you're not.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just like, for what? Like
Right.
what is the reason behind it? And if the reason is just for clout, it's just like, that does upset me, because there's 1,000 and millions of other Latinas that are out here
That are actually
doing
working
real
hard.
like, I don't even like, for me, like for y'all to consider this Latina makeup is like, Shawty, I'm just putting on foundation,
Makeup?
concealer. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like just because I look Hispanic, it's just like, it's just a label that is just kind of like slapped on it. But it's like this one TikTok that I seen, right? I think it was like a white girl wearing just like a fall outfit, like with a flannel and stuff, but have a Latina doing it. We look like cholas.
Right.
You know? And
Right,
it's like,
right,
it's
right.
so weird, because it's just like, we're just trying to like have that fall aesthetic, but it just doesn't hit the same. So,
Right.
I don't know. I definitely think it's like a little weird. People do that shit, like that Rachel girl, where she was pretending to be like a black woman.
Rachel's Doll's doll.
something
Yeah,
like
I
that?
actually
I
read
don't
her
know what that
book
is.
because I
Yeah.
was so curious about
For
it. I
real?
read her whole book because I was just so curious about it at the time.
Yeah.
She had a Netflix documentary that went viral.
I think I
kind of
seen
thing.
like the Netflix. Yeah.
The reason we asked is just because lately in post 2022 has been the flip from America kind of pulling at, like we had talked about before, pulling heavily into black culture and benefiting off of it.
Yeah.
So like specifically, and now we've seen in the past year like the Kardashians thing was a big deal, like everyone's singing in Spanish and just like there's just been a big flip. So I think we always consider, we're kind of political, we're girly political sometimes, so we just wondered like what that's like in terms of seeing it and stuff. So
okay, now that we're talking about like music and stuff, I definitely see a shift in like the hip hop industry. I think it was like a moment, I don't remember when it was, but there was like a moment where hip hop was shifting a lot, or putting a lot of spotlight into like Mexican music, or like Mexican rappers, or like corridos and stuff. And I remember my man being upset about it, because he's Mexican, so he like grew up listening to that back in a time where like a lot of people like thought that shit was whack. And then all of a sudden, just because like Drake is on a song with like,
Now it's cool.
now it's like, now everybody wants to do it, and everybody wants to listen to it, and everybody think that shit cool. I think that for sure, just it feels a little fucked up. There's this moment that I do want to talk about, but for the sake of people's privacy,
we can bleep it out. Tell us.
there was this one event that I went to that was supposed to be for like a celebration for a country's culture.
Okay.
And I was hyped. I was hyped to go, and I went there, and I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed because what I took from that was, y'all just wanted to do it because it looked cool.
Right.
And it seems fun, and there's no deep meaning or anything or any substance behind it. We're just going to do it because like it's cool and it's known.
It's going to get good engagement
trending.
online.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You know? And it upset me so bad, because it's just like, for one, why don't they invite you to be a part of it? You know? That way we can do it the right way. You know, instead of allowing somebody else to like take that and just have no like real meaning or respect for the culture. It definitely upset me. But at the same time, it inspired me to like, you know what, maybe we should do something ourselves.
Just go harder.
Yeah, we should just do something ourselves, you know, and just do it the right way, you know?
Yeah.
Our smaller communities in the conglomerate of America, even your background too, have a good way of like putting on for each other. Like cultures have a good way of putting on for each other.
That's
If we need to throw an event, if I need to throw like a Guyanese Trinidadian event, everyone's showing up. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to put on for your people.
Yeah, that's good.
But with everything kind of going on in America right now, and I know we touched on this a little bit, but what is it like being Hispanic in America in this current day and age with everything that's been happening?
Because it's really difficult to watch from the outside and have no perspective on, like,
Yeah,
we don't see
'cause
your
we
American
don't have
comments,
that.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't see the discourse going on in America.
It honestly doesn't feel real. It feels scary. It feels very scary to know that I grew up in Columbia Heights, which is predominantly like Hispanic, right?
Latino community.
Yeah. So it's crazy to know that like ICE is just like walking around. The National Guard is just walking around and they're like
Casually.
pulling people over. They done pulled my man over like 4 or 5 times
And
for no reason.
What's his
Wow.
background? Just
He's Mexican, but he was born in the States.
Yeah.
But it's like
Just
for
that
no
typing?
reason. Yeah, for no
carding
reason at
people.
all. You know, or just
And this is
trying to find
ICE?
something. No, it's just regular police because now
Oh.
even like the police is like
On
a
it.
part
In
of
on
it
it,
too.
yeah.
But it's really weird and it's like really scary, you know, and it makes me very scared for my parents. Even though my parents are citizens, it's just like for them to feel like they got to come out the house with not just their ID but their passports too. It's just like we shouldn't be walking out the house living in fear, you know? So it's really weird and it's really scary. I mean, I'm grateful that nothing has happened so far to my family, but it's just like it's sad to know that like I know a few people where it has happened to them.
Yeah.
You know, and it just feels so unfair. I don't
And
know.
there's a lot of profiling going on.
Oh, 100%. Like the fact that that's being allowed in itself is just like
Crazy, right?
makes no sense to
Yeah.
me at all. Yeah, because people just be chilling, literally just be chilling,
For real.
going to work, and I don't know, man. I know real criminals, and it's like y'all ain't even after these motherfuckers,
Yeah.
but y'all want to come after us.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
For
makes
real.
no sense.
There's some kind of greater agenda there. We saw you got married.
I did.
You got married. A baddie has gained her wings.
That's cute.
So what's the journey been like for you?
Oh,
What's
man.
marriage like?
Marriage is amazing. I feel like what makes it so beautiful is that like I'm married to my best friend,
Wow.
you know? Yeah. And for me, it's like I realized how much I made so many mistakes when I was younger. I dated people that I didn't really know like that. You know? Like you get so caught up in the moment, in the feeling and the excitement behind it that like you let a lot of shit slide. But I'm grateful to like have met somebody and genuinely gotten to know them without them having to like put their representative, you know, on the line, like showing like good face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really got to know him as a person, as a friend, as somebody that I worked with. And so it was just natural.
So how do you know that a person is your person?
I feel like the cheesiest line to say is like, when you know, but honestly, you don't. You don't know. You don't know because like people change every single day. However, I know right now in this very moment, because I can't see the future, but I know right now in this very moment, like this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, right? This is the person that I want to do life with, that I want to face these battles with, whatever it is. Like I trust enough, like he is my guy. Like that is my best friend. Like we've already gone through so much together as friends. And one thing's for sure, like he's seen me go through everything. And he was that one person that stayed by my side than anybody else. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like that's enough for me, you know, and I'm happy with that.
And what are your non-negotiables?
Can I see your ring?
Yeah, of course.
Aww.
So pretty.
It's a big one.
Right?
Yeah, what are some things that are non-negotiable for you that you would recommend to other girls that you considered at the time and now you're happy that you made that decision to consider?
Definitely feel like communication is key and transparency. I feel like they go hand in hand. So it's like if you have a person that's just like shutting you out, not considering your feelings, or even understanding the fact that like we all come from different like spaces and places, you know? So you can't be out here just expecting somebody to, you know, just understand. Like you have to be willing and open to communicate, even if like that person doesn't really like rock with what it is that like you're on. It's like take that time to like show them or talk to them about it, you know? So if you're with somebody that's just like shutting you out, not trying to communicate, it's just like Nah, bro, like that shit don't go.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dating does change you. And so what ways do you
100%.
feel like you've changed since dating and then marrying? It's a lot of self-sacrifice for a boss of a woman.
Honestly,
so what's that
yeah,
like?
yeah, and that was like a huge change for me too. You know, that was kind of like another rebrand in a sense where it was
Many.
also forced.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but it's also finding like who am I as a married woman? Like when it comes to my artistry, when it comes to the shit that I talk about in my music, because it's like I'm no longer in a space for real where like I'm sad or like I'm going through anything like really traumatic. I'm actually a lot happier. You know, I find myself even like closer to God. And that's so different for me because I would have never thought, you know? So, but I feel like at first it was definitely confusing. It was rough, you know, because I
It's a lot
experienced.
of letting go of who you thought you were.
Yeah, you know, because I experienced like a lot of fans that just couldn't relate anymore. You know, not everybody grows with you when you go through certain things. You know, so it was definitely tough in the beginning, but now I've gotten to a point where it's just, you know what, I'm just going to let go and let God. Who's meant for me in my life will be meant for me. You know, it wouldn't be a thing, well, I would have to force them to be a part of my life. It'll just happen naturally. Like even this whole situation, you know, how I even got here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, you just kind of have to trust yourself, trust God, and just let that shit rock.
Well, we're so happy that you've been here. We're so happy that we got to meet you and everything like that.
100%, yeah.
Before we wrap with you, we had like a little segment that we wanted to do.
A little game.
Okay.
And shit's gonna get serious. So we
Do you have
wanna-
your phone nearby?
I do.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
good. You're gonna need it.
Okay.
We're gonna ask you questions, and you
Okay.
have the choice. You can answer the question, or you can face the consequence.
Okay.
The first question that we have from you is, who was the rudest musician you've ever met? You can answer, or you can await the consequence.
Who was the rudest musician I've ever met?
Just who was the asshole?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever met anybody that was rude to me.
Or like the person that was most difficult to work with, even.
Damn it.
I mean, there's if you don't,
don't
want to
have to
answer,
answer.
there's something else you can do.
All right, what can I do then?
If you don't want to answer, you're gonna have to post a story on your Instagram about going off the grid and quitting music.
I'll do that shit right now.
Okay, we're protecting the name. We're gonna make a post.
For now, we're protecting the name.
And just make it like a black screen so you look sad.
Back on my sad shit. You know, one time I pretended that like, it's so fucked up, but like, just to see, right? It was kind of like a little social experiment.
Just to see who's rocking
Right?
with you for real.
Yeah. So I wanted to see like what would happen if people found out that I got locked up. So I like did this whole like story, like super mad. And then the next clip after that was like my producer recording me coming out of like jail.
Really? That's hilarious.
And people bought it and I was like, I don't fuck with y'all, bro. Like, where were y'all when I was happy? Like, why
Yeah.
y'all gotta wait for some shit to happen?
You're probably gonna get a bunch of posts of people or like comments of people being
I
like,
know,
"What do you
right?
mean?
I
What do you
know.
mean?"
So a blank screen, right?
Yeah, blank screen and caption it. Going off the grid, quitting music. Okay, question 2.
Who do you think is one of the most overrated artists?
Who do I think is overrated? Who do I think is overrated, babe? Well, cat's out the bag.
The creator?
I don't hate him. That's a strong word.
No, not hated, but
No, just somebody you think
Overrated.
is overrated.
I think it stems from like one of my exes was like a huge Tyler fan. Like
right. So
he
a
was
man ruined
different
it.
before listening to Tyler, and then after listening to Tyler, he was just like different.
I don't
And,
really
like,
know what he's on these days.
Yeah, me
I don't
neither.
know.
I know that one song "Sticky" with
Yeah.
like Lil Wayne and Sexy Red and
Yeah,
Gorilla,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't really know what he's been doing
Yeah.
these days.
The last question we have is, what's one project that you wish you didn't agree to? Whether it be a podcast or a song or a collab.
Do you know? Do you know the answer? I know. What?
It was one that you did with a certain someone.
Oh yeah, my ex.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's because he did music, and so when I moved to Fort Worth, we were supposed to become a duo. So yeah, you talking about that one, right? Or you talk? Yeah. There's a couple motherfuckers that was definitely the biggest one,
Yeah, okay, wow. Just leave it to a man, you know? Leave it
Right.
to a bad man.
right?
We're so happy to have you here. Our last question, like our wrap question for you.
What is one thing you wish people knew about you? And are there any rumors that you'd like to clear?
I don't think I have any rumors
That's good.
that I'm aware of.
Just one thing you wish people would know about you that you feel like is one of the more mysterious parts of you, or something that you don't make main page. What's that one thing about you that people don't really know?
I feel like a lot of people think I'm a bitch. Like I carry like a really big resting bitch face, like not even on purpose.
Me
Us too.
Right?
We get it bad.
I'm saying,
Bad.
like, and a lot of the times when people meet me, they're like, "Oh my god, like you're actually really sweet." I'm sweet as fuck. Like you could come say hi to me. I'm not even fucking tripping. But a lot of people think I'm mean or like stuck up.
Yeah, we
And
get
I'm
that.
just-
A
just not.
boss of a woman will get that everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It'll never end. You know.
Yeah.
And then, what does 2026 look like for you? What do you have? Plug anything.
2026 look like Toronto.
Yay! We love that.
It looks like a lot of Toronto, honestly. And whatever God has for me, I don't know.
That's good.
But it looks great.
That's good. And is there anything you want to plug?
Yes, you can follow me on all streaming services, all social media platforms at Anna Mvze. That's Anna with 2 N's, Mvze.
You've been amazing to sit down and talk to you. We're really honored to have you on our first guest episode.
you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me, even though this was like all last minute.
Yeah,
So
we
I
made it
appreciate
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, leave it to some women to make some shit happen.
Facts. I know that's right.
You know?
That's right.
But thank you so much, Anna Mvze, for coming on.
sure,
Stream
for
all of
sure.
her new music and follow her on
Yes.
all of her social platforms. The dolls will be back with you guys soon. You already know how it goes.
Thank you for watching.
Bye. Thank you so